Hey guys, it's Maymay, and today we're jumping on a trend. You know me, I'm always behind, but not today. We're going to get in there while the getting's good, right? This card that I have seen is called a split lattice card, from what I can tell. And in my research, from what I can find, the first person to make it was BB Cameron. So I want to give credit where credit is due. I think it is lovely, and I think you're going to like it, so let's make it. So I'm using an A2 card base. This one is cut the long way here and then scored across the middle. Now, from what I could tell from the original blog post, the person who made it the first time, BB, didn't measure anything. She just played. So I'm going to give you some measurements today, but I also have to kind of play and find them. So I've put this here into my trimmer, and I'm seeing this is my 5.5 section. I want to leave, I think, about 2 inches, maybe even a little less on the front. So I think I'm going to cut off, let's see, that's 1, 2 1/4. So let's do that. I want to leave, I shouldn't say cut off, I want to leave 2 1/4 inches. So that means I want to take off 3 1/4. So I'm using my ruler to help me decide that. So let's go this way, and let's put this to 3 1/4. And I want to see where my line is. This looks good. Now, you'll learn with me if this is bad, because I've never made this card before, but I thought, I think we can pull that off. So this is our card base now, okay? And then what I need to do is take this guy and cut him into some strips. Now, from what I could see, the first strip that was cut off was a little bigger than the rest. So I'm going to cut my first strip at about 1/2 inch. So there's the first strip, okay? Then these other strips, I think I'm going to cut at 3/8. I want them to be a little thinner than my bottom strip, and I'm just going to see how many I can get. And probably should have measured this, honestly, because now I'm thinking about it, we may not end even. But to be honest, it might be okay. It might not even be an issue. I've seen so many people doing this and trying to put their own, like, spin on it, their own version on it, and everybody does it a little different. So the gist of it is you want the front to look like a trellis or look like a ladder or something like that. So let's just see what we do here. So these are all 3/8, and let's see what happens right here. This feels like it's going to work. Feels like we're going to be okay. Pretty close. And I'm okay with that top piece being a little bit thicker too, because it'll kind of balance everything out, okay? So those are my pieces. I just wanted a lot of strips was my thing. All right, next step. What I want to do right now is I want to fold my card front over. So let me get this guy folded and put into place here. Try to get that to do nice and straight. I'm a little crooked. I think being straight is going to be important here because of the way we want this card to line up. So there's that. So that's the front, and we're going to build our trellis down here. Okay, so I have taken a piece of yellow tape that I have put on my sleeve of my shirt over and over to kind of soften the adhesive up. And I just stuck it kind of to the middle of the back of that top section. And I want it to be long enough that it hangs down underneath the card front. And I'm using my magnets that go with my glass board. I told you I love this glass board. It makes things very, very easy, right? So I just want to do this number. Okay, so I've got it in place. Now what I'm going to do, because I didn't measure, I got to find my bigger piece. One of these is slightly bigger, this one. I'm going to start from the bottom, okay? You might want to start from somewhere else depending on if you measured or not, but I didn't, so I'm going to start from the bottom. This way I'll know what I can put in the middle. And then I'm just going to line this piece up underneath, or line it up with the base of the back of the card here. That makes it pretty easy. So we'll just line it up like that, okay? Then I'm going to take my 3/8 inch strips and leaving about 1/8 of an inch gap. I'm just going to do this number. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've watched a lot of these cards, and I have noticed that nobody really measures. They just kind of place them. I mean, some people might. If they have, I haven't seen that video. But you're just kind of eyeballing that 1/8 of an inch there, like so. It's really kind of cute. I wasn't sure about this card when I first saw it. I thought, I don't know about the integrity of the structure of that card. But we're going to see together how it goes. Get this one in. And again, remember, I didn't measure, I just cut. So I may have to adjust these because it looks like I might have too much space. I actually have another idea though. So here is this. Okay, so it's a little bit more space than I wanted, but remember how down here I wanted that wider piece? I think what I'm gonna do is kind of put another piece here overlapping at the top to create the right space between and also have like an ending section for my fence. Does that make sense? I kind of want to do that. All right, then what I did So this piece came from this section and I'm not going to use it. So I don't need this one piece that we cut off. But these two pieces I cut out separate. These are 4 1/4 by 1/2 inch. And that way I can use these as my little post here. And I think I want to put a little point on the top. I think that'll be cute, like a little fence. It may not show, but I want to try it. And what I'm going to do is lay this on my cutting mat just to give myself the spot to do it. I'm going to put a dot in the middle of it at the top here. And I think I'll drop down, I don't want to go quite that sharp. Let's just go like 1/4 inch here and 1/4 inch here. And I'll cut this one and then I'll use it as my template. If you have a square punch, you could just put this right into the square punch, just the corner of it, and that would do just fine. See, I just want a little fence post top, so I'll do the same thing over here. Just lining those up and mimicking so that they'll match. Good deal. Now what I've seen done is folks are putting dots of glue and then laying their little fence post down. So you're dotting each one of these guys. And I'm just going to eyeball this. I'm not going to stress too much. I am going to put a little glue at the top here because I know that'll land somewhere. I'm going to put this down like so. Isn't that cute? I got to tell y'all, we went to Columbus, you know, for Creativation, and we went through Kentucky, and there were so many of these white fences in Kentucky. It was absolutely gorgeous, and so this kind of takes me back to our travels. And then again, this side over here, just kind of matching the other side, just kind of mimicking it. Pull that down a little bit. Try to get it straight. All right, so that is the basic build. And again, you can edit that in any way you want. I'm going to turn this over now, and I'm going to take this guy out. But something I want to do that some people did and some people didn't do that I watched, I want to add another piece here for stability. And this time, I'm not even going to measure my little snips. I'm just going to hold my two pieces together and just make a snip here and then make another snip. I'm not going to stress about how that, if that's perfect or not. It's going on white. It'll be cute. So there's two options. You can do it the measured way or the not measured way. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run more glue on these little strips. Put a little at the top there and add another one just for stability. And again, some people did this, some people didn't. Depends on your cardstock, I would think. Like if you're using Not Your Mama's or something like that, you may not have to do this. It may be super sturdy. I am not using that one today for this. I could have, but I picked up this one instead. So it's a little bit softer. I can see so many ideas with this. I really want to try ink dragging it. You know, ink dragging the pieces to look like wood like we do a lot of times before we put them down. I think that will be cool. All right, let's remove our tape. You can see all the fuzzies from my sweatshirt because I wanted to soften it up because yellow tape can be too sticky sometimes, especially in these little delicate places. And then let's turn this around so you can see that is what we've created, a little trellis card. It's kind of cute, right? I'm not sad about it. I think that's cute. Let's see what else we can do to it. So I have this paper pack called Wildflower, and there are some really pretty flowers in here, and I want to show you what I want to use. I want to come back here and use some of these floral stickers. I think this is so pretty to put on our trellis, but I also want to put a pretty piece behind it to kind of show through our splits in the fence. So let's see how tall of a piece we need. I'm going to do a piece that is about 3 3/4. I think that'll do really good behind it. So let me find that page. So here's something you can do too. You can lay your card down and look to see what's going to show. And you guys know me well enough to know if there's a check in the pack, I'm going to use it, right? I think that'll be really pretty under there. So let me cut a piece. So this piece will live on the inside like so. Won't that be pretty? And you could do a lot more to it. You could do some fancy dressing up here. I think I'm just going to put a sentiment right there. But I think that's pretty there. And then you can see it through. Isn't that pretty? Let's start there. Now, if you wanted more stability, something I thought about, like if you feel like it's a little too weak on the front, you could just glue this to the trellis. Do you know what I'm saying? You could just glue this facing like this onto the trellis and it would still look that way on the inside and still have pretty floral on the back. But I think our trellis is going to be fine. I think the front of this card is pretty stable, honestly. And we're still going to add some stickers for even more stability, so I think we're good. So now we're working with that. I think that's pretty to put a little color behind there. Let's get the stickers out. Now there's a couple to choose from. Look at this one right here. This is so pretty, this kind of dainty little gray kind of skeleton flower. Isn't that pretty? You could use that. I want to use these brighter flowers. And yes, I'm using stickers. Guess what? This is a trick I learned from, first off, I love stickers, but my niece Lydia, if there's a sticker, she's going to use it. And I'm like, I want to do the same thing. And look how pretty this is. Now, I'm not going to stick it straight down. I'm going to do a little work to it, but I know I want to use that flower. And I'm thinking some combination of these two. See how I want to place them here on the front of the card. I think these are really pretty. The idea is to do some trellisy flowers, and you may have some that are perfect for this. I gotta be honest, I'm just getting into florals. I've never really been much into florals, so I don't have a lot of supplies that are floral. I have some stamp sets and stuff, but I wanted to kind of put this out kind of quick for you guys, and so I thought stickers would be my option. I'm still looking. Let's start with these two. All right, so let me show you something. So these are stickers, and I don't really want them to stick my card shut going through the little trellis holes. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my embossing tool and powder the back of them. Do you have to use your embossing tool? You do not. You can do this with baby powder, cornstarch, cosmetic powder, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to do this until they're not sticky anymore. I even like to take them and turn them upside down and pick up the sticky or the powder on the surface, because then I know they're not sticky. See how well that's sliding? It also shows me where all my leftover glue residue is. So they are not sticky anymore, and I can decide where I want to place them. I kind of want to pop them up. I think I'm going to play with some foam. I think it would look really cute to have them lifted off the trellis a little bit. And just look how pretty these florals are, and you can play in any way you want. It really does dress up the little trellis, doesn't it? Isn't that pretty on there? All right, let me get some foam tape going. So I'm just going to use these little guys right here. Let me grab my pokey tool. And what I think I'll do is just kind of place them. Let's start with that one at the top there. So just kind of place them in this area. Let me pick one up. I know I need some like this. And over here. This will probably get most of what I need. I might need to add a little bit to the side, but I'm going to take these little covers off and then hover my flower over to see. It's pretty good. I think I'll put some on the butterfly wings, and wherever they land will be fine because they won't be on the trellis. They won't show through the back. That's the one thing that I'm seeing I'm going to have to pay attention to, is what shows through the back on this guy. All right. I also like to add a little bit of glue to these guys just for safekeeping. And then place this piece in. That's just beautiful. Those florals, though, isn't that gorgeous? Now I'm going to do the same thing for this guy down here, and I'll pick where he's going to go and how he's going to land. I'm still not sure. He's got that little bug, too, that little moth, and I'm not sure if I want him coming from the bottom or from the side. Oh, that's kind of pretty like that. We'll probably do that. So then on the sticker pack, I found this little sentiment that says, cherish every day. Isn't that cute? And I want him to live about here. So I'm going to do that same thing where I put the little foam. I'm not going to worry about taking the sticky off of the back of him. And the reason is he is already going to be lifted up so high, I don't think his sticker is going to touch anything. And also, where he'll be is hovering over a full sheet and not in between. So I don't think he won't stick the card down, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm not going to need to put one on the other side there, and the reason is it's going to be sticking to an already lifted up sticker. So I'm going to take these guys off, the little backers off. And then I'm going to put a couple dots of glue for safekeeping. And then I'm going to place that right in the center of that little lattice there. Cute, cute, cute. Isn't that cute? I really like that. That is so precious. I think it'd be cute to add a butterfly or something up here. Let's see what we got. I didn't have anything very small in the pack, but I think this will be pretty to kind of just add to, as if it's flying away. Isn't that nice? Now we'll go to the inside and figure that out. So here's the back, and now we have a spot to put a pretty sentiment or words right there. I wanted to use this banner. I thought about using it on the front, but I think I'm going to use it here on the back and say, life is beautiful. And then enjoy it all right underneath it. That's just stickers, you guys. I didn't even do anything fancy. Now, I know you're going to be wondering, where do we write? Okay, because everybody wants to know that. I wouldn't want to write here because I want this to show through. This is a good spot to write if you want to write a little something. And you always have the back of the card, always. I think that would be pretty too. And this might be a place you want to add one of those little easel stands that I've shown you before. Might be a cute little place for that. But I really think this one's pretty laying down like this so you can see through it. What a neat card. I love when somebody just thinks outside the box and comes up with something different. And I'm grateful to BB. I'm not sure she was the original, but I think she was from my research. But if you know who did this originally and I've got it wrong, be sure to tell me in the comments and I'll make sure I give them credit. But how pretty and how easy, right? What a neat spring card. And the possibilities are endless. I want to play and I want to ink drag these pieces and not drag this so that this really looks like a little wooden fence. So watch for that. I really do want to do that. All right, guys, thanks so much for being here today. I love these cool card ideas. If you see something out there you want me to try, tell me that in the comments below. And also, if you can find the originator so I can give them credit, make sure you tell me that as well. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video by giving it a big thumbs up, and until next time, bye now.